Okay, sorry about that phone call. So imposter syndrome. When I talk to a lot of people about a lot of people about this, they've never heard of it. They're like, "What is that?" So imposter syndrome is when you feel pretty much the easy way is when you feel like you're not good enough to do whatever the idea is, the job is, the project is, right? So you put yourself through so many issues to get it done, which you probably don't even usually get the project done because you've put yourself through all these different stages of, okay, yes, great, I got this project. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I know how to do this. Wait, I'm not good at this. That person is better. Look at, social media is a big hand in that imposter syndrome. Well, they doing it better than me. Mm-hmm. Look at what they doing. Why would I even do it when they already got it covered, right? So all of those things come into play with imposter syndrome. And this doctor, Dr. Valerie Young, she has it's 5 different types of imposter syndrome. And the first one was the perfectionist, right? And I know for myself, I am that person, right? So if I don't know the whole ins and outs sometimes, and I'm kind of a tricky person because with sewing, to me, it's very important. So if I don't know the whole ins and outs of everything, I would be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Right? And even though I could sit there and learn it, it's just, to me, the learning process is just what I said it is. It's a learning process. So if, for example, I'm sewing a dress, right? And this person has a bigger bust than what I'm used to working with, I have to add that bust adjustment. And even though I might watch it on YouTube, it's still learning. Like, well, what if I don't put the bust adjustment right? What if I don't cut the lines right? What if the armhole messes up? Never mind. I'm not doing it. Right? Yeah. So that is part of it. The other one was, let me see if I can find it for you.
To me, that comes into fear of failure too, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
right? Because you scared that somebody's going to be like, that's a mess. Mm-hmm. And most people don't even do that. They be like, oh my goodness.
Right.
It's better than what I would ever did, right? Then you have the superwoman or Superman, right? Who's just like trying so hard, pushing themselves, trying to measure up to somebody else, right? But that's your insecurities that you're dealing with. So you pushing yourself so hard that you end up failing because you're trying to beat somebody else. You're comparing yourself to others.
Yeah,
ain't nobody even comparing you.
Right.
It's your two. Your people that's sitting on your shoulder. I always say it's like, how you always see the devil and the angel sitting on your shoulder, right? And they both have things that can eventually help you out some type of way, but both of them also have ways that they can hold you back from being great.
Yeah.
The other one is the natural genius. So it's like a person who always is getting the A. Always they can know it. And I was that person because it was just like school, boom, got A's. Back in the day, you tell me to do anything. What? Oh, I can make that. Oh, I can make that. Now it's like, wait, I'm not catching it as fast as I need to catch it. I know I'm not good at it. I can't be good at it because I'm used to catching it like that. So if I'm not catching it like that, then that's not my thing. When it's just all you gotta do is overthinking. Yeah, you just gotta sit down and study it, right?
Yeah.
And then the soloist, the person who I don't need anybody help. I'm good. No, I can do it. And then they get so overwhelmed and they can't complete their task and they over there crying in the corner. That I don't need that. That ain't me. And then the expert. That's the same as almost the natural genius, but a person who is a serial learner, right? A person that keeps going to training.
Keeps a lot.
I gotta get that certificate. Or I got trained on that.
But no implementation.
Yeah, but I ain't finishing. Ain't using none of that certification or training for nothing. So all of those come into play. That's the 5 that come into play with imposter syndrome. I can't find my poems right now, but they had some really good poems that made you reflect on it. And the funny thing about imposter syndrome is most people who deal with imposter syndrome are some of the best artists, right? And because I look at some people and I'm like, man, they don't have no fear, no doubt, and some of their stuff do be a little rough, but they just do it. They do, you know, and they eventually get better at it. Yeah. But because me as an imposter, I'm like holding back. I'm scared I'm gonna mess something up. And like for instance, I have this jacket I'm gonna work on, and it's a jacket for me, right? So I've been learning how to do back adjustments, how to do bust adjustments, and I need to get in here and just trace the pattern. I have not gotten in here to trace this pattern because my imposter syndrome is kicking in. It's really bad.
The greatness comes in doing.
Yes,
it's not,
right.
It's not in thinking about it.
Thinking
about doing it.
So I'm forcing myself to work on that. I have a open creative day coming up on Saturday. So that's what I'll be working on. I'm going to be tracing the pattern, making a muslin, learning how to do the adjustments properly, learning my body more. And so I'm going to force myself to do that on my creative day. But yeah, that's like one of the issues I'm having. It's like, girl, it's just a jacket. Like if you don't just trace it and play with that and move papers around. So that's my imposter syndrome right there. But I'm working on it. And it's all about learning yourself. And when you do have those doubts, just stand back for a minute and observe the work you've done before, right? Because that's what I had to do. Like, I'm like, forget it, I can't sew. But then I stood back. I remember the outfit I made for Shania without a pattern. And the outfits I made for Dallas when she was growing up, the clutches I made, some other items I make. And I'm like, you got this. You can do this. And then I also had to tell myself that sewing is not an exclusive thing. Like, okay, so you sew like this and it always works this way. You know, it's not that. You are constantly learning. As a creative, you are always learning whatever it is that you do, right? So I made my dining room table. I want to make it again because I actually learned some new things, right? So it's like, you're constantly learning, so you have to remember that you're not going to know everything. And I know that's a problem for me. Like, I don't know it as soon as somebody asks me. I have to go back and check it, right? Even like with just drafting a sleeve. Some people can just do it I don't know how they do it. But I can't do that because I see math, I see movement. So I have to be like, let me refer back to my notes. Okay, boom, 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 this is how you do it. But that's what I'm teaching myself, like, it's not an exclusive thing. It's constantly learning. It's constantly learning new tips, new tricks, new this, new that to make sewing better and to make it more enjoyable and to make items come out, teach people better ways to have their items come out and fit them properly. So that's another thing I'm learning. Like, it always changes. It's always something new. It's always something different. And when I'm online and I'm looking at my soul sisters, I'm like, because I sew, I can point out different things. And I'm like, you know what? She is rocking. And she ain't the least bit worried about if her hemline was wavy or whatever. And I wouldn't dare, like, you know, in our sewing community, we wouldn't dare be like, girl, you need to fix your hemline. We'd be like, woohoo, because we know what you're going through, right? So it's realizing that people are having the same doubts that you're having. But they're, like you, what did you say before we started? They're continuously moving forward. Yeah, they're moving forward. So now, you know, eventually the one lady I follow, Tabitha Soar, she's going to be doing that full time. You know, she's already working with brands and everything. And I have goals, so I have to constantly, almost every other day, talk myself off the bridge of the imposter syndrome. So
I think that's life too, period, though. I mean, every day is a constant learning experience. Every day you learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Every day we getting older and we didn't know something that we didn't know yesterday.
Right.
So it's like, to me, that's all part of life and entrepreneurship and growth anyway. If you keep on moving forward, you're going to be learning something new every day. Even if you consider yourself to be an expert, you still going to be learning something new every day. If you deal with a different person, you still going to have to learn a new person, you know?
Right.
So it's
it's
like you still learning every day regardless. If you do it or you don't do it, you still learning.
Right.
But the goal is, if we really want to do it, that we got to keep moving forward.
Right. Because you'll never learn.
Because you'll learn, but you won't be able to be an expert in it. Right?
You can't implement it.
You're not implementing the action of what you learned. So that's why I was saying I just had to put myself out there and reach out to people, because that's what I'm doing. I'm learning a lot. I know a lot. I know a lot more than some people consider themselves to be expert marketers. I know a little bit more than they do. Yeah, I'm just hiding behind my computer at home because I'm scared. Because like, what I'm supposed to say?
Right. When I see him,
right?
Is this gonna be awkward?
Yeah, and then to me, like, I gotta have like a script written down of what I'm supposed to say, because I'll get tongue tied and twisted, and they'll ask me something and I'll be like, huh, and what?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, messed up, right?
Yeah, so I gotta get better with that. And to me, I'm better in person than on the phone. Mm-hmm. The phone gives me jitters. I don't like talking on the phone. I'd rather talk to somebody in person, because you get to read their facial expressions.
You don't know what they're saying on the inside.
Yeah, you get to see the body language. You know, that's more of where I'm at. But that on the phone stuff,
not for. I hate cold calling.
I hate cold calling,
because you really have to have a certain level of confidence to be like, when somebody say click, you be like, all right, so what next?
Right, and you move on to the next. But I can't do that.
And you be like, maybe it's not gonna.
That level of confidence is, for me, it's not there. Not for cold calling anyway.
Yeah, cold calling is pretty hard. I can do it, but it is hard. I am a person that's an in-person thing too. Like, I need to see you. Like you said, feel your body language. Right. I need to see what you're talking about. I need to see that you know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know, like, oh, okay. And I like to see people in their vulnerable state. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I always like to see that, but I like to see people in vulnerable states, because that's when you get the real them. Right? When they ain't vulnerable, it's like, you be like, wow, I didn't even know you were like this. I need to see you in that state to respect you in your Instagram state.
Right.
Because I have a lot, I have a lot of issues. That's why I have to stay off of Instagram for time. Because when I go through it, I'm like scrolling through and everything seems like it's great. But if your life seems perfect, I can't connect with you.
And that's true with marketing, period.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people now, everything on social media, I know a lot of people is going a fake route, but right now people want real.
Yes, that's it.
People want to see vulnerability.
Right.
People want to see you fail. People want to see how long it took you to get the way you're trying to get to. So that's what I'm learning as well, is as far as our stories is concerned. That's why I gave you that story script last time. When you're telling your story, you got to tell where you started from, what walls you hit, what obstacles you faced, because people want to know all of that, because people don't like perfection, because there's no such thing as perfection. We all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. The imposter syndrome that you're talking about, everybody didn't went through that before, even though they might not say it. Right. But everybody has. So that's what people want to know. People want to see that realness. Yeah. And that's to me, that's why I think we got good with this show, because we get to see how what's really going on in our worlds, and where we falling back, where we falling short, where we feel inadequate, all those types of things. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. I really do think that vulnerability is the thing. It is the hot thing now, because I want to see that, maybe you didn't give your kids the best dinner because you wanted to paint a table, but you gave them dinner. It might just not been the greatest. They had a couple noodles.
Yeah, they had a couple noodles, because you had a different goal that night, but you still fed them and you did your little thing, And it was funny. I went to this event. Was it last Friday? that was hosted by Carlene Goodrich. That's her last name. But anyway, I know her as Lemonade. And it was so nice. It was like a ladies event. And my new thing with this whole imposter syndrome is self-care too. Because sometimes that just relieves the stress. So self-care, is not always getting your nails done, your hair done, and anything like that. But me going to that event was like self-care for me, right? It was like, boom, I'm leaving these kids, I'm out. And it was just such a great space. I met different bloggers that are in Baltimore City that are doing great things. And it was just so nice to hear these other women speak and sing. And even the space was beautiful. It's called Vision in Federal Hill.
Okay.
It's a co-working space. Beautiful co-working space. But it was just so nice. And it made me feel so much better to talk to other people who were also going through the same issues that I was going through. The whole imposter syndrome, and saying to yourself, look, no, I gotta do this. And I am good at it. And I can keep moving. Sometimes I get thrown off, but I'm good, know. And even women who were mothers there saying, look, I had to leave my kid. I had to leave him a couple times to go do this project. And realizing that they're going to be all right. People going to be all right. They want to do what they want to do. If they was out hanging with their friends, they wouldn't at least been worried about you. Right? So that was a good thing. And I was like, I need to figure out how to can get to more of these things. Because they had one yesterday at Baltimore Creates. Did you see that one? I think Takia was the moderator, and it was other women on the panel. And it was just, I was watching some of the clips. It seems really, really nice, and I wish I could have been there for that. But yeah, that's that. My new thing is definitely diving off and doing this, learning this different types of sewing, because I may eventually start sewing for people, but I want to learn more before, and some of my other endeavors that I want. So that's where I am. And that's about it. Let us know if you have any thoughts on imposter syndrome. Let us know in the comments, because they can comment, right? Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think about imposter syndrome. Or have you ever heard of imposter syndrome, and what did you think it was, and how do you deal with it? What are some of your wins and learns that you dealt with this past week? All right.
2019.
Yeah.
Supposed to be, can you believe it's almost April already?
It's about to be summer.
This is crazy.
Once April hit in school.
Yeah, that's what I was just telling Royal, because Royal comes to me yesterday saying, I'm just done with school. I don't know why you make me go. It's such a waste of my time. And I said, well, it's almost over at this point. You won't even be at that school next year. You're going to middle school. That's just how she is. But anyway, y'all, have a good day. We'll see y'all next week.